Welcome back to the Dropouts Podcast. You were here with your host, Mosh Sinclair. To the left of me, we got the one and only co-host.
It's your boy, Bleezy.
It's your boy, Bleezy.
We got a very special one today. We got the Trey Rhodes.
Oh my God, yes sir.
Oh man, so we just got real deep into it about fucking Game of Thrones before we started this.
Look, man, Game of Thrones is a cutthroat show.
Yeah.
So, you know.
When did you start watching this? Because you said you were watching it over some years.
Yeah, probably after the second season came out, because I was one of those, I'm not going to watch it. It's dumb. I can't get into it. It took me like 4 times to really make it past half first episode. I don't know. All I remember is the snow scene. I couldn't get past it. I didn't understand it. I don't think it was slow, bro. It was too slow. So.
What year was this? How old were you? Where were you in your life at this time?
I don't even remember when Game of Thrones came out.
You were in high school.
I think
you were college.
I'd say college.
Okay, let's bring it back to high school, man. Let's hear about the story, man. Let's hear about the story of Trey Rhodes. Where does this all start? You're an entrepreneur. You're a fighter. You're an athlete. You know what I mean?
How old are you now?
I'm 30.
30.
Yeah. I just turned 30.
Happy belated.
Happy belated, man. Happy
Appreciate
belated. Black on crap. Thank you.
Hey, man, yeah. Hey, look.
I feel like I'm your senior. You know?
Look, I'm telling you, I could make myself look like I'm like 19.
Yeah.
Just clean, just cut all this off or whatever, low cut.
Oh, you with the baldy?
Nah,
crazy.
I get a ball fade. Yeah, bro, you never, dog. I've been growing my hair out since quarantine, so you know this is what 3-4 years of hair. I want to do this because it's the first time I've ever had a full head of hair. I've had all the hairstyles since then. In middle school and elementary, my mom, she was in charge. So I could never get any other hairstyle other than the ball fade, which I don't know if you know what that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a low cut, bro. And I
used to
could
get
do
a ball
nothing else.
fade.
So yeah, bro, ball fade.
You didn't like it?
All even. I was fine with it, but I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was strict.
That's how my dad was. I couldn't. That's why I don't cut my shit now. I feel like that's a lot of people. So like their parents made them cut their hair, and then they grow up and they're like, I'm never cutting it.
Thanks.
Yeah, bro. No,
I was the opposite through COVID, I guess you could say. Or I always had like somewhat long hair, but through that span is when I like went straight bald at one point. Not like skinhead, but like as short as I could go.
No, it's fucking.
It was
Just
just
let me
my
shave
shit.
it.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, that's.
You practicing? You was learning your cuts.
He was shaving his head.
Yeah.
It is.
What made you do it?
I was working outside.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
hot.
Oh yeah,
It was hot.
for sure.
God, it was hot. Well, we was out working, playing basketball, working out outside, playing basketball. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was a good time though. I like quarantine. I ain't gonna lie. I had a good time.
Yeah.
I came up, man. I focused. I was working.
It was a good time. It was. What made it so good for you?
Bro, the whole world stopped. You know, at a time in my life where I'm kind of trying to figure things out for myself. So it's like a whole year and a half of extra free time to get to know yourself, learn something new, focus on whatever craft you're doing. Now, see, I'd say COVID really messed up people who were on that 9-to-5 track. Like that really was disrupted. But I was kind of flowing and just getting into my whole entrepreneurial, spirit, trying to figure things out. So it was just another adjustment for me. But I still was able to continue making money. I traveled a lot during quarantine. Man, I joined travel groups. I was all over the country.
The time where they're like, "Hey, stay inside."
Oh yeah, no, I was everywhere, bro. I was in
Flights was cheap.
Yes, flight. We got Airbnb. It was 60 something people. We got together.
What?
That's crazy.
Bro, I was
it past me real quick. I said
60 people in an
Bro,
Airbnb.
the first trip I joined this group, bro, it was a travel group, and the people from across the country. So
During quarantine?
yes, this is when I joined them, bro, because
You're the reason it kept spreading. We could have been done in like 2 weeks.
hey, to this day, I never got it though. So it wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? I washed my hands. But yeah, nah, bro. The first trip that we went to, I was part of planning it as well. We went to Dallas. We got this big old mansion. Oh, I had a tree house, water slide, this big overlook of like all the mountain. I can show you. I had to pull up a video of like the looking from the top of the tree house, bro. It was lantern lights, all kind of stuff. Yeah, we had 60 people pulled up out to Dallas for this trip, bro. And
couldn't have been much if it was a mansion still, 60 people.
I just can't imagine 60 people. Like, you guys could have been arrested.
There were no altercations.
What do you mean?
It was different. It was different. It wasn't.
It wasn't lockdown.
It wasn't locked down then. Matter of fact, or they weren't kicking the restrictions right then because it was still kind of the beginning.
Okay.
And so by the time we left, and we was doing other cities, they were locking that city down. So it was just like, dang. But we got people from all over the country. So, my city's open. All right, let's plan a trip. Miami, Houston, DC, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte stayed kind of open.
I'm not gonna lie. During quarantine, I stayed in the house, but me and him lived with like 4 other people. So like we was deep.
Yeah.
And we just had everyone come to the house.
I had a house with 4 guys too. Me, my best friend, my cousin, and his cousin.
How was that?
It was good, bro. Like I said, we in the house with your homies. It's like, you already cool, so it ain't no big deal. Cause we were from these. Like I brought most of my house. We were all from Augusta. Brought everybody up from Augusta. It was kind of crazy. But so we're used to each other. We knew each other, and it's like there's a pull-up bar in the kitchen. So it's like I'll be cooking or something. I see somebody come here and do their pull-ups and stuff, and another guy chilling on the couch. He'll be like, "All right, bet, knock out his pull-ups or whatever. I'm knocking out my push-ups or whatever. We'll go play basketball, do our workouts outside." That's what I said. It was hot because it was easy to stay in shape. I came out of COVID more, even though I closed the gym. I was more in shape. Bro, I have a piano. I learned and taught myself how to read music and play piano. It went in the storage after I moved, so I didn't practice anymore. I have it now, but I'm just gonna get a teacher this time. But yeah, bro, like quarantine was good. Like I just focused. Like I did work. That's why I want TikTok.
It's good that you were productive through COVID. A lot of people they focus or not necessarily focus on the one thing, but weren't doing much.
TikTok dances, bro.
Yeah,
they were doing TikTok dances.
It sounds like you were productive in a sense, stuff you enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't like the TikTok dances?
No, I don't mind the TikTok dances. It's just the thought of I didn't understand how a lot of people didn't get, the world is at a halt. The whole world is at a halt, so it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, this is the time where you figure yourself out.
They was figuring themselves out.
No, bro. They was on the phone, scrolling, doing TikTok, dancing, man. Just, I don't know, man. I hate that a lot of people wasted it. Because I know some people that are very close to me that really wasted their time during quarantine. And now it affects them. Like, you know what I mean? Like or not now, they're finally getting back together, but
I wish I could have done a little bit more in that sense. When I was through the thick of COVID, I was a general manager of Papa John's, and delivery was booming through COVID. I made the most money I ever had through that year, but I never worked as much as I had through COVID. Yeah. Most people are just chilling at home. In my whole house, bro, I'd be working 60-something hours a week. I come home, they're all just partying.
Essential worker.
Yeah. It was crazy, for sure. But I wish I could have honed into something like that for sure.
You make money though, bro. Yeah. That's
for sure.
Your bills are paid. You have your responsibilities.
For sure.
I had some friends that were essential work. Yeah. One of my guys, he works at CarMax. They had him on lock.
I bet.
And but they paid him really well.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I've seen it a few different sides of it. I'm just talking about.
I'm more for myself though. Fuck the business. The business will come to itself.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a question though. 60 random people in a house, no altercations or what? Everyone is just fluid.
60?
When you're in the mansion with all those people.
Oh yeah, no. Let me think.
Me personally, going into a house with 60 random people. Some people got to be going head to head at some point.
This was again during quarantine, so everybody's at home for the most part.
We're just happy to be out.
We're already on Zoom. Zoom was booming during this time, so we're on Zoom calls, Zoom meetings, every day, every other day, different topics, game nights, hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Get to know these people.
Okay.
You're building friendships and relationships, and even if you don't go do the main group travel, you vibing with somebody in the chat, you reach out, y'all go do your own private trip somewhere. You really, you know what I mean? It's the social aspect of everyone's on lockdown, but
y'all was actually building a community.
Yeah, so we felt comfortable. It wasn't strangers to us. Of course, we were all, this is our first time meeting, but at the same time, he was over here joking on me the other day, or she was over here flirting, or I slid her DM, all that kind of stuff. It was a good time though.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Sounds like college.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You organized your own college.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. I feel like, people say like, oh, this job feels like high school or whatever, but like it's kind of the same stuff. It's like high school feels like, or college feels like high school. Work feels like college. Life feels like that kind of atmosphere when you're in like your community. It's all the same. It's always gonna be the same dramas, the same people kind of have the same interactions and stuff. It just depends on how big or small your bubble would be.
For sure.
So like that, I don't know. I like that's how I related, because people was like, oh, I hate it. It's always so much. I'm saying it's all the same stuff. No matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, just gotta ride the wave. Go. Make sure your flow is good, and shoot, you maneuver.
You said you helped plan this event and all of that. How did you get into event planning in the first place?
I don't know, man. Probably when I got out here in Charlotte.
What was your first event? Like the first event you either went to, you were a part of, or what? Like, what was the first event that had you like, yo, this is dope. I want to do this.
Other than, I guess it started with, I would always kind of organize the group meetups. Like when I got into a local Charlotte group, I kind of would be the one to organize, like, hey, let's go to my place and have a cookout or play spades, or let's go to such and such apartment, have a pool day. You know what I'm saying? You bring this, you bring that. Okay, I'll make a Google form. You bring it, put it on the form. It's just like I've always been a people person. Going around, I've been cool with everybody, so it's easy to kind of get everybody to come together. And then, a lot of people want to do the same stuff, but they don't either make the steps to do it, or they just don't feel like doing the work that it takes to get it going. I don't mind. I have a good time doing it. It's fun for me, because when everyone's having a good time, I'm having a good time. That's all I do it for real. Because I'd rather interact socially, personally, versus going to the club where I can't hear nobody. I can't really talk to you. I can't relate. I can't get to know you, build a relationship. That's where the value is. So, yeah, I think that I just kind of took those events, and it got to the point where now everybody's like, oh, Trey, what's the move? This, such and that. What's the move? Or if I have an idea of like, oh man, Trey, you should put together something for the artists to do this show. I'm like, well, I guess I could. I'll call them, see if they come. I'll call them, see if they come. Okay, well, there's 2 shows now where I just kind of did a gathering, and then I hit them up, and they came out. So if I can get people to come, when I need them to, it's like, all right, bet. Well, let's just start kind of thinking a little bit bigger about it, what I want to do with it. And, then it turned into how do I want to like present it, and then now it's just like, yeah, it went from private events to my public events, which started with my lake parties, which were a success, and then now the art festival that I'm doing yearly, and then I want to kind of just keep going to the next level with it, and just really being able to have more reach. So that's kind of how it's evolved.
Growing up, did you have like a lot of family gatherings or anything like that, or is it just something that you kind of were introduced to in your more middle to adult life, getting into it?
My immediate family was very close. People ask me all the time if I got siblings. I say I'm the oldest of 5, which is me, my sister, and my 3 cousins. We were raised pretty close. At some points in our lives, we stayed in our grandparents' house together. Or we're at our parents' house and we want to go stay the night at each other's house every weekend. So it was like we were always together. So I always felt a good sense of family. We had family vacations and all of that. And so, I've always loved family in that aspect. So now it's just like when I moved out here, or, going to other places, it's always easy for me to like meet people who have really good energy. I love to hang out with people who got good energy. You know, if you're somebody who's goofy, you laugh, you joking and all that stuff, that's probably what I'm gonna hang out with. And those people usually just really chill and just want to have a good time. Sure. So you link up with all those people, and then you know, kind of pull everybody together, and just be the first one to say, hey, yo, let's go here, let's do this. All right, cool. Everyone's on the same page. And then it turns into a whole big good time, and now it's just like, wow, that's a good feeling. Everyone's having a great time because the idea to go here, or just because I just, you know, initiated it. So for sure, it just grew from there. And I'm a big family, friends guy, you know, Bush, especially if I get a little tipsy. Man, I'm emotional.
But,
You are you spiritual? You say energy, and whenever people start bringing up energy, I just be curious.
I get that.
And your bracelet, I don't know. Your bracelet's giving me a vibe.
I'm like the guy, I'm like the puzzle piece that fits into everything, but also doesn't really fit in the big puzzle. You know, I'm not. I mean, I guess in terms, you know, I'm more spiritual or atheist or whatever. But it's like I'm gonna treat you. I want to treat you with the same respect and love that I expect, and that I'm gonna treat everyone else, regardless of who or what they believe in. And so, you know, I'm more on the aspect of learning what's going on out here. What do I see? You know, I believe in you, and you more than I believe in anything else, because anything that happens from this moment forward is based on the decisions that we make from this room and out. You know, if you decide that that I rub you the wrong way because my outfit, and now our vibe is off. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, well, Trey's cool, but I'm not going to really rock with him anymore. That, you know what I mean? That's a decision.
Yeah.
Or
this is a funny example.
cause and effect.
Or
the outfit. I like the outfit.
He could be thanks, man, appreciate it. Or you could be like, oh man, I don't like the Trey's afro is how it looks. So now when I go to the gym, I might kick his bag every time. You know what I'm saying? Like the decisions you make.
Similar afros.
Right. So like, but the decisions you make is what's gonna like show me who and how to go about our relationship. You know, because the ripple effect of good, you put out good, it's gonna go forward, and that's it. That's, you know, that's all it is. And if it's a bad, then it's like I'm gonna choose not to be around it. I don't have to be around it. Or if it's something that's negatively affecting me or anyone that, you know, that I'm dealing with, I just choose not to partake, because there's so much more life to live. There's so much stuff going on. So much that I don't understand either. You know, who am I to say this doesn't exist because I never seen it, or you know, it doesn't fit what I think. I don't know. There's so much shit out here. So until it avails to me, I'm gonna let it be where it's at, and then I'm gonna figure out on my own way what I think and feel. But so whatever you can categorize that into, it's like I believe in energy, nature, survival of the fittest. That makes sense to me. You know, evolution, I can see that. You know, we got some evidence that I think makes sense, but I'm not gonna force it on nobody, or them, you know, persecute anybody for, you know, thinking otherwise. So I don't know what that would be technically called. It's a lot, I feel like. So spiritualist, naturalist, atheist, whatever. Trey Rhodes.
the
Trey Rhodes, yes sir.
You say atheist specifically, like you just like don't believe in like higher powers?
No.
You believe in like the Big Bang?
I think that one would make sense more than anything else. You know, that follows the whole evolution and change theory, as far as, you know, I could see some, you know, there's scientific evidence and all of that stuff of you know, all of those things.
Do you believe in manifestation? Do you think you have superpowers?
I do think I have superpowers.
Okay.
I think I'm like psychic. I think I'm very I think I'm psychic in a way, you know. But I also am somebody who's very hyper focused, and so I pay attention to the very little things when I'm talking to you. You know, so I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at I'm listening to the tone of your voice, the context of the conversation. All the little things, like I'm very intent on paying attention to that, because those things I'm working subconsciously to kind of put together the real big picture, So now I can hear things or feel things or see things that aren't necessarily being presented. And so now that helps me maneuver in a way where it almost seems like I'm very clairvoyant, and I can either see the future or put myself in the best position to prosper from whatever is going on, and in there with this time, man, I be having dreams, bro. Oh, it's weird.
Tell me about the dreams. I like to, because I hear what you're saying. Like, you're very practical and very aware, and like, you know what I mean. Like, you're aware of your surrounding, your situation, and whatnot. But I'm just curious on like if you feel like supernatural in any way. You know what I mean? Not to even make you sound like crazy.
No.
But I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people who I meet through like fighting or whatever, I feel like, or artists or whatnot, I feel like a lot of the people I attract feel something, what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious on what that is.
So, all right, so we're gonna go into it then. On a physical plane, hell yeah, I have a level of energy that's, or it's tough to say superpower versus just being a little bit different, because of my super high level of energy and being able to channel it. I'm capable of so much. I can execute every thought, dream, goal I want to execute, or I'm stronger than anytime I've been doing combat competition for a long time, physical challenges. I've done a little bodybuilding competition before, all kinds of sports just on the whim, super athletic, but like that all comes from the strength of the mind, being in tune with how you feel about yourself and your capabilities, and knowing what you want as far as if you want to create or make more. You can be fine with who you are. Everyone's great the way they are, but then it's like, okay, if this is me just being who I am, if I just put in a little bit of work here, a little bit of hard work, or a little extra focus there, the amount of growth, oh man, it's like it compounds, and then you can't. Now you turn into, in a short amount of time of change, of consistency, from give it a month and a half, now you're in a way different position than you were before, all because you had a little bit of awareness to make a slight change, or put a little effort, a little extra effort in your day, and then it becomes you, and then it's like now that is a superpower in itself. People are like, oh, me of doing stuff that's amazing, but to me, I'm just like, it's just another day. I'm just doing what I want to do because I think that it's fun and cool, or I'm interested. So physically, hell yeah, man, my energy level, just keeping that up, not letting anything else outside of me affect me in a way that's going to stop me. That's big. But then on a metaphysical plane, a mental plane, like, yeah, man, being so in tune, and really being hyper aware, bro. Like, I think that is a superpower.
I think so too. I think people who are very conscious of their subconscious to where it's a point where it is just one conscious, you're physically and mentally present at one point in time, and most people they can't decipher between the two.
Right, exactly. Now decision making, you're a lot crisper, cleaner. You're just able to execute more, or really the ability to think and be able to take more of your capacity. That's tremendous, bro. Some people can barely do 2 things at one time. I can do 7. That seems like a superpower to a lot of people. So you can chalk it up to it, yeah.
Feel that. You mentioned athletics and whatnot. How'd you get started into this? You grew up playing like football.
I've been in sports my whole life. I've been good at sports since my 10th grade year in high school. But my mom, I did little league baseball, little league football. I was killer, man. I was good at baseball too. Like, if I would have stayed, I probably could have been somewhere doing baseball right now. And who knows if we would have been on this podcast together before I got into wrestling. Yeah. But my mom, she had this rule that I can only do one sport per year. She wanted me to focus on school. Mm-hmm. She, small. She's from a small town, country town in Georgia. So she was kind of, she had her ways of thinking that she wanted it to be. So up until in middle school, my area wasn't good in football at the time, but I chose football instead of baseball. Should have chose baseball. Chose football. I was still really small anyway, so I didn't get play time. Got into high school, 9th grade. I chose football. Man, I was like 125. I weighed 125. I didn't get no play time, so I was like, "Bump this, man." And then my best friend, Jalen, he got me convinced to come do wrestling, cause I always had this natural like, no matter what, anytime somebody grabbed me, like, I always get out of it. I always end up on my feet. I'm always like, grappling was instinct to me. I don't know, it was weird. And then I got into wrestling my 10th grade year, and I think that was the turning point for real. Cause I was already good my first year. Man, me and Jalen would just wrestle off on the side while coach is teaching everybody the basics. You know, my best friend's beating up on me and just teaching me how to, you know, it's like a brother. You're not gonna be a punk and let them bully you or nothing. So, but you're still cool to learn from somebody who, you know, you feel comfortable learning from. So we would just be grinding it out my first year, man. I made it to state. I think I just got like top 12 my first year of wrestling. And then after that, I snuck my 11th grade year. I decided on my own I was going to play another sport. Oh no, this is my 10th grade year. I decided I was going to play another sport. And then I got into soccer. But like a month in, man, I came clean. I told my mom, like, "Mama, I haven't been staying after school for wrestling anymore. I'm doing soccer." And she let me do it, you know? That was my first adult decision, and she let me. After that, I was able to get my haircuts, my own haircuts and everything. She let me start growing up. Yeah. But, she let me finish, but I was on punishment for the rest of the year. Like I said, she was strict. So I got whoopings, I got punishments growing up, you know. I got both. You know, some people got one or the other, I got both.
I got both too.
Yeah, so yeah, I spent a lot of time reading when I was young. I had the AR reader. I was always number 1 or number 2. Every year they had it.
What is that?
The accelerated reader. Okay. It was like this program where the library, the books had points, a point system. Mm-hmm. So you read the book, however much the book value was, they had the points, so you go take the test. And at the end of the year, you know, whoever's at the most points, that's when you get a piece of party and the points to go get your gift. You know. Yeah. So but I had a lot of time. I get on punishment, and it'd be for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. But that's a lot of time to read. Cause she takes the cord. She took the TV cord, the PlayStation, the computer. You know,
look at it. We can't take it on.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I had time to read, and my friends would be going outside, across the window, and go knock on the door. Ask, can I come out and play? Look, I'm in the room like this. Hey, stay out that window, boy. I'm like, oh. So yeah, dang. Yeah, it was funny, but you know, I wouldn't change nothing. Yeah, I wouldn't change nothing. So
that's what's up. That's good. He can read. I'm not good at reading. I can read, like I'm not like illiterate, but like, right. Yeah, this shit was boring.
Yeah. I
need some other shit. My mom used to try to like put me on punishment, but she was busy. I was like, "You not home? You don't know if I'm home." Like, this is before iPhones and all that.
You know I mean?
Yep. So yeah.
Shit, I didn't get my first cell phone till I was like 13.
That's a good age.
Yeah.
This is the age where you can kind of like be out or whatever. I had a cell phone young, but I couldn't text because I tried to be like, I need a phone for emergencies, and they were like, okay.
Right. I just started leaving. I think I got mine a little bit younger, maybe like 11 or so, but I had an older brother, so that was my excuse. But I also bought my shit. My mom didn't want to buy me a phone. I was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna go buy it. I paid for the phone. I paid for the phone plan. I was like, that was probably my first adult decision. I started making my own pad. Yeah.
Isn't it great? Like, you can kind of think back when, you know, your parents
start separating and shit.
Yeah, man. Because after that, like, it was easy. Like, I'm honest with my parents. I don't, you know, there's no point to really hide much. But like, it after that, you know, there's a few points where I could tell, like, certain decisions, like, you know, they just go ahead.
100%. You know, they got to see that you can do it to an extent before they start letting go. You know. Yeah, they're always gonna see you as a little kid. It makes sense. You know.
But it's crazy though, because like, unless you just too scared to really try it, you get stuck in that system, you know, that little cycle or whatever. That's crazy.
Coddling almost.
Yeah.
I feel like I was the kid who was never scared to try it, so they was just like, bruh. Like, what do we do? But I was also moving back and forth a lot. Like, my mom would be like, he's not listening. I go to my dad's. I wasn't doing like bad shit. I was getting in trouble, but not like doing like bad shit. You know, I wasn't like stealing cards. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, I might have like gotten invited at school, or like I wasn't when the teachers talk to me no type of way. Like, you know, but yeah, I wasn't getting punished either. I don't know. I feel like when I have kids, like I'm like, what, punish them? I don't know.
It's a different day and age, you know, especially how I got punished as a kid, you know, like it was with him. It's either verbal or, you know, they're coming at you.
I got beat, but that I felt like that wasn't bad, you know.
Nah, but I think it's, to an extent, needs to be there.
It made me angry.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit definitely made me more, like I was beating on kids at school because I was.
Oh, wow.
You know,
People don't see a real consequence to
Yeah.
action without, you know what I mean?
Repercussions, bro.
But if I was getting beat and like locked down, like I would have lost it, bro.
But see,
It usually started with that, and then it would be the lockdown, so you gotta sit and muddle through that shit.
Yeah, and it's not like, you know, everyone's got their own, like when you just hear it, like, oh, I got whoopings as a kid, everyone thinks all kinds of stuff,
Right.
but it was never, you know, I never thrown in the closet, I was never starved, you know what I mean, I was never, you know, physically, you know what I'm saying, it was a few raps with the belt on my butt to let me know, like, yo, don't do this, you know, you've had a couple chances, and then, you know, I learned early, my parents would really let me, I could do whatever I want. Well, I did whatever they said, as long as I followed the rules, you know, I could do what I wanted to do, which was go outside and play with my friends.
Did you grow up with both your parents?
No, actually, technically, I didn't grow up with my biological dad either. But my mom's friend, when I was born, he stepped in and he raised me, so he was my dad. Mm-hmm. And that's my sister's dad. Mm-hmm. But no, they divorced when I was like 4. And then we just would go back and forth. Sometimes I think we stayed with my dad a couple years of my life when I was younger, but finished out my young life and my mom's. And we, excuse me, sorry, I just had a big meal and it's a little spicy.
Ooh, chill you. What you have?
There was this pasta, there's this sausage and I had sausage and chicken, pasta, rotini, something positive. And I coughed early and the spices got him.
Yeah, I feel it. Like I can feel it.
It was good, but it's just a little spicy.
So every time you inhale, especially through the nose, it's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, but yeah. What was I saying? My mom.
You know,
my parents
a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, they were. We were pretty. You know, my dad on weekends or my mom on the weekdays or school or whatever.
Were they like equally as strict?
My mom was the strict one. My dad was more like the backup if it was something that I did with like warranted, like, oh, I'm gonna get your dad to talk to you now, and my dad gonna whoop me.
Yeah.
You know,
she gonna get the muscle.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah, but like my dad was more like when we stayed with my dad, it was more like, you know, as long as you're not doing nothing crazy, then not, you know, we're good. As long as we clean up, do our homework, you know, be respectful, follow the rules. It was no big deal. But I never did nothing too crazy. You know, typical kid shit. My sister stole a family car one time. Her and my cousin. So I thought it was funny when he said that.
They sister stole the family car, though.
they went on a joyride. And they were young. Yeah, they got caught when they messed up the neighborhood. And they drove the car back, and it was a trail of like oil and stuff. Like they hit like the power, the cable box thing, rented in somebody's yard. Hey, like I don't know what happened, bro, but they got the keys, got in the car. So when you said it, I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, I saw you
I stole the car
to it. I was like, there's gotta be a story to that.
He said he did steal the car. He saw it. Like I knew.
What? Never got caught.
Oh, nice.
So like, me and my cousin, we took a car, right? And I was driving. I was whipping it straight. You know what I mean? Like just, you know, I was doing my thing. And then he was like, yo, I wanna drive too. So I was like, get right, you know. I let him drive. And we pull up back to the crib. The whole drive was straight. And we got park. And I'm like, you good on parking? He said, yeah, that's the easiest part. I'm like, say less, you know what I mean? You pull up, scratch the car a little bit, bro. That was funny. He's like, he older than me, you know what I mean? Like, so like I kind of like looked up to him in a way, you feel me? Like, you know, like he was from like this, he had a tougher upbringing than me type shit, you know what I mean? Bro folded. Bro started crying. He said, bro turned around with tears in his eyes. He said, well, what are we gonna do?
It was at that moment he lost all respect.
Not even. I was like, I think because I wasn't the one driving at the time, like it didn't hit me as hard. And like I was just like, we had nail polish remover. I knew that it could remove nail polish. I was like, will it remove car paint? Because he tried to wipe it off, it wasn't coming off. That's when the tears hit. No, yeah,
he was good, yeah.
So we got the nail polish remover. We removed all the paint, right? And then it's kind of messed up this next part of the story. But I was like, bro, we going to church in 2 days. We gonna be in the parking lot. Our church we didn't have like parking spots. It was just a big old lot. And everyone like if you weren't last, like you're stuck in there. Yeah. So after church, you know, she found it at one of them days, and you know I'm there.
Luckily lined up.
Damn. Wait, you know, at church you could have. They were parking near you, and she's like, I don't think so. And we're like, that's crazy. Like, what's that got to do with us? We kids. Like,
We didn't take the car.
Yo, right. Literally, it was like I'm not even like baited. I feel like they had like a hunch, but they didn't want to come out and say it. But we were so nonchalant about it. Like, why? Like, I don't want to say nothing. Yeah, that's one thing. Like me and my peoples when we was growing up, we wasn't snitching on each other.
You should have asked him about that one day. Just kind of bring it up, kind of like, did y'all ever bring your wife into that debt? Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I probably should. I feel bad. Maybe whenever I'm like, I got enough money to like buy a car. You know,
I'll do that.
I guess they could hear this, but like, if they hear it, I'm sorry.
I forgot.
If you don't hear it, that means you're not watching the content, so it's not even. You're not helping the game. So I don't feel that bad.
Right now you don't hear that. Oh, y'all owe him now.
How old were you during this?
Yeah, I was in high school. It was after I lived here, but went over there. So like, and I always went to like a new school. I'd never been like in one school for like more than like 2 years. And a lot of people who have that, like people who grew up with like military parents, they always like didn't like it, but like I always liked it because I felt like it was so much easier to make friends because you got the new kid clout. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
That's so funny, bro.
Especially when you're coming from another state, that shit. Like,
you're like the first person I've ever heard. Like, what? The new kid clout in high school. Like, yeah, you're right, the clout, but when you're doing that every year type of shit, like, you're funny,
what?
I guess you can make the counterpoint to like making a lasting relationship with someone.
Yeah.
Like with them in a day-to-day
like
aspect.
appreciation.
But I can relate to that when I moved out here. It was like middle school, and then so it was like 6th grade, and then 7th grade we got a new middle school that was closer to our district, and then there was 1 year there, and then we went to high school. So I kind of relate to you to that extent, but
yeah. But I feel like all the people that I went to school with or whatever, like all my friends who like I was friends with, like I remain friends with them. Mm-hmm. Like to this day when I be visiting Jersey, like I go like see my friends and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like everyone like
got that mystique.
Yeah, everyone knew me before I knew them, which was kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had to do no work.
I went to where my dad lived. He lived in Parsippany, New Jersey, and like this town, bro, like. People's parents went to the high school that we was going to type shit. Mm-hmm. So like these kids like grew up together, like all that shit. Yeah. So like everyone like knew everyone. So like yeah. And you know it was funny because when I'm new, like one of my boys, Tremel, he was new, but he was new a year before me. But I didn't know that. So like we both got cool, and I'm thinking he was just like already knew all these people, and they're like, yeah, did you guys come here together? And I was like, what? Like me and him didn't even realize that we were both like the new kids.
That's funny.
Yeah, because he said he came at like the last few days of school. Like there was no reason for him.
I guess time there makes a matter too.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a better story than waking up to police lights in your room and my dad yelling, "Hey, everybody, get out here! Who took the car?" Yeah, my sister and my cousin took it. That's how they found out. The cops was knocking on the door.
Okay, so when you said they like tore up the neighborhood, you really mean
they tore, bro?
If oil was leaking on the way back.
Yeah.
No, me in my head, I'm like a little oil.
No, my dad got like sued. from like the cable company.
What?
Because of the damage that they had did. And then I think one of the neighbors sued him too, because of the fence and everything that they messed up.
Why did they do that?
Just, why did you and your friends? Why did you take the car?
Because people was that we wanted to be seen in the wind.
They just thought it was cool. It was matter of fact. But I was talking about.
How did they fuck up that much stuff though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think there was this one sharp turn that kind of got. I think my sister was driving, and it was like this one sharp turn that I guess she hit the curb, and then she was young and never knew how to drive, so. I can imagine how you've been in a hydroplane accident, right? And so, right. So then they barely made it back, and yeah. And then I woke up and see the blue lights in my room. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh,
That's crazy. I had a friend whose mom let him take the whip, so luckily we never had to steal the whip type shit. And then there was another homie who had a Mustang who had no license, so anytime he pulled up, he wanted anyone else to drive.
Oh,
I'm not gonna turn down a Mustang.
Right,
So I would hop in that shit all the time. I got my first speeding ticket without a license in that fucking thing too. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even have a license, bro? I thought he had a license.
No one had a license, bro.
And then after that point, I just started hanging out with people who were older than me and just had whips. So it got.
I think that's what it was. Like at the time, we weren't hanging out with no one with a whip, but you can't live around here without a whip.
For real.
So like somebody got to drive.
Yeah. See, I can get with my hometown. I can get around in my area for walking.
My home,
but I did get a car. I had a car my last 2 years, but the first couple years, I think my sophomore year, one of my friends did get a whip. And he was the guy. We was all piled up in this Jeep. He had this old Jeep, man, and it had like red velvet suede seats.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the one. He'd come pick us up. We go do everything in that car. But yeah.
Walking as a kid, man, I feel like looking back, especially if you're not walking alone, like them walks were cool. But like once you get that whip and you start realizing like, I could actually get places now.
Literally.
Like, because we used to walk. Even when I lived here, we would walk. But like we lived in neighborhoods, like it was like a 5-minute drive to get to one another's house. But like then there'd be snow days, and I'd be trying to walk over there, and that would be crazy. Or I remember I would ride my bike there, and the ride there downhill the whole time, just smooth. Ride home, oh boy, crazy.
It's only a good time.
It was a good time. So what was it like moving from Georgia to here?
I didn't move from Georgia to here. I moved. I left Georgia when I was 18. I graduated high school, and I'm a wrestling scholarship. And I went to Campbellsville University in Kentucky, smack middle of Kentucky. Like there's a little pendulum in the middle on the ground that says middle of Kentucky. Yeah, we're in the middle of Kentucky.
What was that like?
Bro, my first couple weeks there, bro, my first month there, I was like, y'all gotta get out of here. That was the motivation that I had got to be so good at wrestling, to get another full ride to get to another college.
What was so bad about it that you had to get out?
It was a private Christian college. And the worst part is that's when I lost my faith, bro. Before that I was Christian. I went to my Episcopalian church. I was confirmed, baptized, all that. Grew up going to church and learning what I was told, taught, whatever. So of course I had my doubts and stuff, but I never questioned. I was too afraid. I still prayed. I still did all of that, everything. But then I got to the college, and then it's just like I'm surrounded by these people, these private Christian college kids that came from private Christian high schools, that came from private Christian middle schools, and they were raised in their private Christian homes. They stay in this kind of a bubble, and they treat you like, bro, I'm an outsider 100%. And so when I saw like how people would treat you, based on because you're different, they didn't even know what I thought or nothing like that, but just how you're different. And then, the rules for the college is like you got to go to chapel hours, you got to go to do these classes to graduate. And I'm just like, I just came 8 hours from the South this was my ticket to get my education. Now I gotta do all this extra stuff when I'm already doing wrestling, which is a full-time job. If you're college wrestling, that's like a lot, And then Eventually I ended up having to work at like the Papa John, you know, getting work and stuff. So it's just like I couldn't get with that, and so then that made me kind of start thinking on my own, and so yeah, that and what it was a two lane road city kind of spot. You know, one road's got like the Walmart and stores or whatever, and it's going that way out of town, and then the other lane's got the restaurants and the car dealerships, and it's going out of town that way. You know, it's a dry college, all that, and it's just yeah, that too, yeah. But, you know,
you can't drink.
No drinking, yeah. You're pretty strictly for him.
You're in college, like you're not even.
No, I think it was a dry. Which college was that?
Don't say it's
no, yeah, Campbellsville was a dry city.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, bro. So, but luckily, I mean, there was like a little liquor store, like right, like a little 20-minute drive.
Someone's like, I got an idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Money.
You know, pretty much, bro. That was the spot. But see, people would party. You just can't get caught when you get kept forever. But, you know, and I didn't even start drinking until college. And I wouldn't drink that much or nothing. But it's just like, you know, all this telling me of what I, you know, can and can't do, and I'm young, trying to figure out who I am and what's going on, and so it's just, it made me just kind of start pulling back from all of that, and just trying to just get by at that point and just do what I do to pass. You know, at that point I decided I gotta get out of here, and then I became I got an All-American, and then ended up going to Anderson University in South Carolina. Which, you know, the thing about these private Christian colleges is they can pay, they don't have max, you know, capping their limits or whatever, so they're going to pay you if they want you to come out there. So yeah, you get the full ride, but now it's another private Christian college. Just different city, but still a small city, surrounded by the same type of people. The only thing is, it's a little bit closer to home, you know, it was like about 2 hours away from home this time, and I'm older now, you know, I know how to maneuver and get, you know.
How old are you at this time?
I went to Anderson in 2014. I was about 19, 20, something like that. When I moved to Anderson, because I graduated at 18, so my first 2 years of college I was at Campbellsville, and then after that 2 years, or a year and a half, before I had my disagreement of lifestyles with Anderson. You know, some say get kicked out, whatever. I say disagreement of lifestyle because, you know, my roommates, they were telling on me the whole time for having girls in the dorm, which when I first got there, I was like, yo, talk to me if there's any issues, you know, work it out with you, whatever.
You weren't allowed to have girls in there?
Yeah, it's private Christian colleges, bro. No, you gotta have visiting hours. You got there's
almost like military school.
There's no spending the night of girls. You know what I'm saying? You get an allotted time of like from like 6 to 8 or 7 to 8, where they can come sign in at the front at your RA.
Girls can come in?
Well, they come in, but they can just sit in either if it's in the dorm, the doors gotta be open, or if it's in your apartment, they gotta stay in the living room.
See, I'm a fan of all religion, you know what I mean? I was very anti-religious for a while, and then I realized, like, I might just be the most religious person because, like, there's a little bit of something good in everything, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But one of the biggest things with religion is, bro, you gotta give people free will, you know what I mean?
Right.
You can't be like that's gonna turn anybody off, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I can't live my life, like,
exactly.
Let me live and learn, you feel me? Because
it's the only way you learn.
I feel like, my thought is all the girls and all the guys there, once they leave, they start wilding out.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
They control themselves now because now
they're exposed to the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Try to, like,
for you ready, finally hits them.
Yeah. Make my own decisions and whatnot. And I'm glad you said that. You know, I do think that to be someone who's not only intellectual but of the people, you should, you know, you can't close yourself off to just one religion. You need to study, you know, theology in all aspects, because to understand another religion is not only to understand another perspective from a whole nother, you know, demographic of whoever, but also it's an understanding of a human being, because it's all the same. It's all derived. You know, the story is the same. It's different aspects of it, but like we all relate in so many ways in these different stories, and like that creates a different type of understanding for human beings. So it's like people who are super religious, I think they should, be able to open up to at least study other religions and try to understand other religions. I mean, that just makes it, that makes you, I feel like that would make you stronger in your faith, but also make you more of a relatable person in general anyway.
I used to have a lot of questions about like religion, and kind of like you like kind of felt afraid of like, oh, like, am I, people gonna be mad at me for like feeling this, blah blah.
God, I'm sorry, but I didn't even think that way.
Yeah. So, but in learning about like more religions, I feel like things just like, I feel like in every religion, I think there's missing parts, but I think when you start exploring other ones, you start finding the missing parts that like were skipped over. Because like I mess with the Bible, I rock with it. I think Jesus was a really dope dude. You feel me? I do think it's kind of weird that like he just disappeared for quite some time, and then he was like 12 and he was like 30. Bro, that's a lot of time. Like, what's going on? But yeah, I'm trying to get in the Quran. I gotta, we live in a country, a place where there's this like Christianity is like the easiest thing to like get knowledge on and whatnot. But like I have really been interested in like Islam and all this. It's one of those religions where like I'm interested in it, but like I be feeling like I gotta be careful talking about it. Feels like it's so easy.
Taboo,
No, not even taboo, but just like the respect that they like got on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, and, like you don't want
a lot more strict.
Yeah,
they definitely got more standards, especially getting into it. It's almost, some of them are almost like a secret, or you gotta be inducted, to really have access.
They like jumped in like a gang.
You know what I'm saying? Get beat with some soft crosses. You gotta go through a gauntlet.
Bro, speaking of which, not speaking of which.
Oh, the pivot.
We're talking about they jumped in, blah blah blah. We met through our gym, CCS, Carolina Combat Sports. So, we were in the story, we got to you in college, you're wrestling, right? So how does that transform into you now fighting?
Well, after high school, I just won state. I've been going to these camps. I've been going to, from my 10th grade, I got top 12. 11th grade, I got 5th in state. And then 12th grade, I won. And then I was going to some camps, getting some really good exposure and learning. Man, my record, I had a high record in the state. I had I was averaging like 60-something matches a year in my short term of wrestling. And so, along with Jalen, we were both kind of
60
killing
matches a year is crazy.
Oh, bro, I loved it, bro. I wanted all the smoke.
Yeah.
That's why I'm used to like those 5 matches, 6 matches in the tournament, or making weight that same morning and then going like wrestling's a little different from some of these other sports. And like, yeah, I was just, I don't know, it was fun, man. I'm very competitive, and so Jalen and I, we kind of were killing it in Augusta, and then my coach did a good job of getting us a lot of matches up north. So I saw a lot of good competition, and then after high school, I kind of did a little training of some MMA stuff. Cause I had some friends in it, I was exposed, I guess I should say, and I mean I've always been good at wrestling and grappling, and it was just kind of like a natural transition. But I didn't have the money to train. I didn't have the time. I was trying to figure out my whole life. I was just graduated high school. I wasn't gonna get to college, or I knew I was gonna get to college at that point. But it's just the fact of that was my track, so I couldn't just train at the time for real. Wrestling in college, and of course, all the college wrestling training was intense. That was intense, but great. I made All-American, which is a great honor in wrestling. I got MCS conference, South Conference Freshman of the Year. I got some decent accolades in wrestling, and then when I went to Anderson, I was just recently ranked. I plateaued, had a bunch of freshmen on my team, and I just, I couldn't really get better, and I didn't know at the time how to really progress by myself. So it was just, I plateaued or whatever, and then they ended this wrestling program, and I ended up leaving there. So ended up in Charlotte, where I stayed working out, but it was to no purpose. You know, I wasn't training. But then Jalen had moved out here, and he was doing jiu-jitsu. He kept telling me come out, but I wasn't ready. I do things when I'm ready. You know, it's like time is very important. It's just I would never rush something I don't feel like I'm ready for. Even if I want to do it, I will wait till the right time to do it. So after 2-3 years, I finally decided to get back, get into jiu-jitsu, which gave me that competition itch, because I was going, compete, and I still had that mindset of, oh, tournament, I want to go, go hard, and just really test my whole body on some kind of challenge or whatever, because working out was fun. I go to the gym, man. I go to the gym for like 6 hours. That'd be core, cardio, lifting. Then I play basketball for 3 hours or whatever. I do some stretching, and then I'll leave. Like, that was normal. Like, I needed all of that. So then I got into jiu-jitsu, started doing all my tournaments and stuff, and training in jiu-jitsu, and that definitely helped a lot. And I mean, it was only a natural transition for me to get into fighting. It was just a matter of when. Like, right now, I still have a lot of people who've been watching me from back when I first started, who've been waiting for me to get going. I've only had 2 fights, but I've had a good turnout, because I have fans, or followers that are really keeping up with my journey. So now it's just kind of just all putting it together, plus my competitiveness. Like, I need more. Jiu-jitsu's fun, but it's not competitive jiu-jitsu for real. So with fight, I can at least, do. I know with my skill level and all that, I'm supposed to. I should be able to do everything I want to do. Go out here and shoot up and take off like a rocket, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm planning. And so it's about that time, basically.
So a lot of people have a why for fighting. What's your why?
My why is opportunity, man. I've always been an opportunist. Even with wrestling, I was good at it and it was fun, but it was my way out for college. Like, I needed that. Otherwise, my family didn't have money. I wasn't trying to go to the military. I guess trying to stay home and do community college. I didn't even really know much about that. No one's really teaching us that those kind of things when we're young anyway. So, I didn't really see much else for me except wrestling, which trajected me to where I am now. And with fighting, because of my background, because of who I am and how I feel and what I become, it's like, I know I'm capable to go to the top. I'm capable to be successful in this. So let me get in here. I can go and do some things that I love and that I enjoy doing. The challenge. Wrestling work, that whole discipline, hard work thing into me. There's no better challenge than busting your butt in the gym and hurting yourself. Hurting yourself all the time, but like, for the better. It's like you challenging yourself every day, and you overcome those challenges. So now it's like a better feeling. Like, every day I leave with more confidence in myself. Now I'm better to go do whatever else I want in the world, because I can. If it's something that seems tough, I know I can do it. And so, all of that kind of just adds to who you are. And it feels great, and I love it. But I also know that fighting can give me a check. And with that check, now come back to entrepreneurial trade, I can use that as big investments. All the stuff I've been doing to this point, I've been funding on my own. So any opportunity I get to be able to make that or do that in a way that I can get the things that I want to do off of more of my hard work, but it's still something that's easy to me or fun to me, then I'm all for it. And so, rolling into it. And while I'm young, got the energy, the health, the strength, man, I'm at one of the best shapes I've been in my life right now. In college, I had 4% body fat. I was training all the time, kind of like I am now, just different schedule. So,
what do you fight at right now?
170.
170.
But I walk around at like 177 to 180.
Mm-hmm. So real natural weight.
And I've always been more of a I've never really cut more than like 10 pounds. I'll wrestle up, I'll fight up, I don't care, because I'm tough, I'm strong, I'm cool, but I'll never cut more than that's comfortable for me. You know, if I'm not good enough at that my natural weight, then I need to work harder. You know,
I've seen a lot more fighters like that in this day and age. Like back in the day, everyone's strictly cut. You know.
Yeah, man.
More of it.
Yeah, that cutting can be tricky, especially if you don't know how to do it. And most wrestlers and high-level wrestlers can do it. A lot of other people will do it, but they're not doing it properly. It's hurting them a lot more, which gives it a bad name for it, you know, because it's more than just, I'm not going to eat or drink nothing. Nah, like you gotta train your body to shed that off, you know, in good time. You gotta work out and sweat all that out and know what you're sweating out and what your body can release in a certain amount of workout. But then also go eat the right stuff that you'll be able to give your body the hydration and nutrition that you need, but not necessarily put back on the junk or the weight that you just worked hard to get off, and then kind of go off of that. So
for the young fighters here, young wrestlers, high school wrestlers, college wrestlers who may be struggling with cutting weight, making weight, what would your advice to them be, or a guide for them? What were you doing in order to make weight, you know, on the day of your matches and then still be able to wrestle 4 or 5 times?
I'm a firm believer, man, that hard work, if you just outwork everybody and everything, then you be good. You know, I eat whatever I want. Of course, I make good decisions and I'm eating good, clean, healthy stuff, but I know that if I go eat a burger or something, pizza or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna be a little sluggish, but I'm not like, my mental motor is just gonna be output, and even if it's like, you know, it's gonna be a good output, but for a long time, I can keep, you know, that's my stamina is there. So it's just like, eventually you burn all of that stuff off. You're gonna work it off. You're gonna grow the muscles, which is why I guess aftercare. You know what? There we go. Aftercare. Work really, 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 really hard. Give it 1,000% when you're in the gym, but then take care of yourself afterwards. You know, hydrate properly. You know, it's okay to drink a little bit while you working on cutting weight. Have a little cup of water after the workout. You know, give your body something, or fruit. Boom, fruit. You can't lose with fruit. That's the key. You know?
And what makes it hard for a lot of people is they water load during their cut.
Do you water load when you're cutting? Water load beforehand and then kind of taper off
instead of like the proper nutrition, like you said, and be able to get down there.
No,
you didn't do that for wrestling though.
No,
you didn't water load for wrestling.
Cause I mean, I sweat profusely, so like I'm already gonna sweat. Like I know how much in a workout I'll sweat 5-10 pounds. You know, or if I really need to cut weight, if it's a week where I need to cut weight, you know, I've lost 15 pounds in the day before. And then just running and sweating the whole time, and then you know.
But you're staying hydrated beforehand.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
yeah.
Before like this was only because I waited till last couple of days to cut. You know, I'm not necessarily water loading because your body already has only like as long as you are hydrated, your body has 10-15 pounds of water in you.
But are you drinking less water while you're?
I will drink less water.
So that's water loading. So
okay. So yeah, I will drink a little bit less water. Like I'm not, like I'll have a glass of water, but like on any other day, I will have three. You know, I'll drink it till I'm not thirsty. But then when I'm cutting, like I'll just have a glass, but then I'll stop because you know.
From never having cutting weight, I thought water loading was the opposite.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. I thought it was where you just like drink a bunch of water. And then start
less nutrition, like so the water is what you're trying to push out more.
Yeah.
No, you just drink a ton of water, and then it's gonna make you pee and sweat a lot more because you just started drinking a ton of water, and then you stop drinking as much water, but your body didn't catch up to it yet, so you're still peeing and sweating that much.
So,
But you get dehydrated fast, so that's why you gotta like.
so I do have to, because I sweat so much. Like whenever, like you see me cramp.
Yeah, like summertime.
It's summertime, but see,
Bro, the gym in the summer is different.
Crazy.
Bro.
I bet.
Different.
Especially the
Sometimes,
amenities out here is crazy, bro.
sometimes now, bro, like I'll be on the mats, and when you get a little close to the garage door, like it'd be chilly, you know, before class, you kind of like stiff. In the summer, bro, like I pull up, no shirt on, like walk out of there in the summer, like when it's hot and feel good outside. So I remember during the summer, bro would be cramping like
Yeah, bro.
crazy, just like
Being thighs.
everything, bro, my whole body. So like I can't stress you enough. I sweat, bro. Like once I start, I'm just leaking all the water out. So
Coach be like, yo, get in the
I
cage.
can grab you.
Like,
yeah. But I call it's my secret technique. I call it amphibious. It's funny you said. So you know, I used to like the reason why I'm so used to that is because every season to start wrestling practice, I would have my series of cramping. It's because my workload picked up, you know, the intensity, and I'm sweating a lot more now, and so, you know, I'll end up, you know what I'm saying, cramping up real bad after practice or something. So like that's why I knew. That's how like that's going through stuff like that. You learn your body. You know what it is, your threshold, and what kind of workouts you can do to kind of maintain or whatever, or how much hydration you need before you can, whatever. But like when it gets all hot and I'm just that extra humidity is draining me, and then working out is draining me. Yeah, my body is. I'm already in overload because I just sometimes overwork. That's why it's a little tough, you know, to tell them that I outwork everything because I overwork every muscle all the time, and so you know it can get tough like when I end up cramping and stuff. It's a good thing when I'm stronger than everybody or got like a lot of muscular endurance, but then you know when it comes to water loading, I gotta drink a lot of water before I start the season or before I know I'm going into fight camp or when it's getting real hot because I know I'm about to just lose it right away. Yeah. So now I have to drink a lot more beforehand. But shoot, even in college, bro, people will say drink a gallon a day. I don't, bro. That I will not, and I will advocate to not do that. I don't think that you should or can. I don't think that makes sense. I've tried a couple of times, but every time you get to a gallon a day, after a few days, you end up over water osmosis. I forgot the term for it.
It's like watering down.
You got too much water in your body. It's not leaving fast enough, so now you end up throwing up just water. You know. So
yeah, I don't think you should ever get to the point of that.
That was a gallon a day, though. That's what they say.
I think it's different for everybody, though. I think like how much more water you should drink. Like when people do like how much water, it's like, well, how much water do you drink right now? It's just increasing that. Yeah. So like if you don't drink no water, like you probably don't need a whole gallon. But like if you drink nearly like half a gallon a day, and like you probably don't need a little more than a gallon.
See, and that's where I feel like it's comfortable. You know, half a gallon a day is cool. Yeah. I'll drink a gallon in 2-3 days. But that's because I'm taking my time because I know that I'm not doing that shit a day every day now.
That shit just start feeling weird in your stomach because you just gotta start chugging because you're like, how much time is left?
Right. That's like, damn, that water gets big. Like, yo, I'm drinking it. What's going on?
Because I've tried it before, and then it's like even by the time you're at day 2, I never really tried it like for like 2 weeks or nothing, but I've tried it, and it is hard to drink that much water because you just feel full of water.
Even when you're working out all the time. You know, this is beginning of wrestling season. We doing the most intense stuff, you know, trying to get it back in the shape.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm thinking, water, a gallon a day is going to help me stop cramping because I just need to be hydrated. But not only that, now you got to think about nutrition. It's like, okay, the water is pushing out all the stuff. So now I'm just like overhydrated, not enough of the right stuff, and I'm still working out, so I'm cramping up still. Like, but you know, eventually I even out. But that's what you got to learn with your workouts and stuff.
Hell yeah.
So you talk about a lot of this like mental fortitude. What do you think instilled that in you?
Probably being on punishment all the time when I was a kid, or my mom being strict, my parents kind of being the way they were. It was like, you work first, do what you're supposed to do, then cool, you do what you want to do. I want to go stay the night at my cousin's house on the weekend. I want to go outside and play till the street lights come on. Okay, do your chores, do your homework. You can go outside. You got good grades on your progress report. You can go to stay the night. I couldn't go out party. I couldn't. I see. They kept me kinda, closed in. That's why I didn't drink or smoke until like college. I was naive to a lot of stuff. I just didn't see it. And that's not a bad thing. Obviously now, I wasn't forced to grow up faster or, everything happened when it was supposed to. So I guess I was able to kind of develop and figure out my own timing. And so with that, it's just like you see, if you rush things, it don't work out. If you wait too long or don't jump on the opportunity, it ain't gonna work out. So
you gotta have that balance.
And then once you figure it out for yourself, I've taken the time to be by myself. Even when I first moved out here in 2016, I took the first couple months. I just I didn't try to go be social. I didn't try to do nothing. I just worked. I was staying at a family friend's dad's house. And he was already moved out, so it was me and the dad. You know what I mean? So dad was at work, and he let me stay in his house to get myself together so I can, survive whatever 3 months before I got my own place. But total, it was like I spent like 6 months of just being alone, just thinking about me, thinking about what I want to do, who I am, whatever.
And when was this? This like after college?
Right after I left Anderson.
You think that was a transformative moment?
Definitely. That was my moment. What'd you say?
Coming into Charlotte.
Yeah, coming right into Charlotte. Bro, I was packed up in my Monte Carlo with all my college stuff and like nowhere to go. I actually was about to head back to Augusta when I finally got my call back. Like, yeah, you can come stay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Because like I didn't want to go home, bro. I just, it's just there was absolutely in my mind nothing. I guess I didn't think about it to that point of what I was gonna do after college. But I wasn't supposed to be out of college at that moment. So it's like, I just left to go back for Christmas break. Now there's like, oh yeah, we found a bottle of Parmesan in your refrigerator.
Hey, you know what that Parmesan?
Bro, trash. Bro, I can't believe, you know what I'm saying? Like I just started drinking. So I wasn't even drinking a lot.
Yeah.
I just it was a party we had, a Christmas party or something. And I brought the bottle back and put it in my freezer. Bro, 5 years in college and none of the RAs have ever checked my fridge, nothing. And now, after I just got in trouble and got away with it, it's like, oh yeah, we know you got girls in the dorm, can't prove it. So here, read this theology, read this book about Christianity and write a report, and then don't let nothing else happen again. All right, bet. And then now, it goes in I'm gone for Christmas break. Yeah. It goes in my fridge. That's all I needed. And
probably
that's crazy. You gotta write a report on top of all that extra shit you're doing and the schoolwork you got and training for wrestling.
That was me being in trouble.
Report to figure this out.
Yeah. and that was me being in trouble without being in trouble because they couldn't prove it. Right. It was just like, well, we're gonna
fill your time.
Yeah.
He don't got no time for
yeah. And that's what the book was about. This guy who was like a virgin for a long time, him and his wife. Cause they used to come to the school and do like the speaking stuff.
Oh, he pulled up.
Yeah, they were
a virgin for a minute.
Yeah, they were virgins until they got married, and
both of them.
I think they were like celibate for a while, and like the book was all about being the marriage of, all the stuff, and so. I never read it, but I might actually still have the book on my bookshelf at home. But I never read it. I left the school. I got in trouble, and then before I had to do the report, I got in trouble, and then they sent me out. So ended up in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Started my journey. That was one of the key. Like college, man. The decision to leave my first college. Was probably my first major life change or pivot. And when I think back to like any decisions that I've ever made, I don't have any regrets, but I can see where certain decisions have taken me to where I'm at now. And the one to leave Campbellsville, my life would be completely different now. I know for a fact. And then I guess yeah, so leaving Campbellsville and leaving Anderson, which I think, I don't know if it was leaving the liquor bottle in there that really kind of did it, was the decision that changed everything. Because I guess I didn't have a choice to
Couldn't
leave.
bring it home?
I mean, I could have. I just didn't think. Bro, I was in college for like 5 years at this point, so it was no big deal. It was just I put it in my freezer and I'd just be here when I get back.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't drink like that.
And how old are you? You're over 21.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm 22. I was
crazy.
22. Yeah, 22 years ago. 22 years old, bro. That's why I said disagreement of lifestyles.
Yeah.
Grown man, I'm trying to find my way, man.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So what you said? You said Paul Masson trash. You're not fucking with the Paulie?
No, it's not. It's not trash, but I guess because I did start drinking late, I've developed into a bougie drinker. Like I know where the lowest bottom shelf is, and Paul is definitely bottom shelf.
Look, man, you're a kid.
right. But see, I skipped that phase. I missed the Burnett's, the Smeka, the Four Locos. I never drink any.
I went Four Locos.
Original
first.
Four Locos.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I hear that all the time.
I started drinking Four Locos with him.
Nice. Yeah, my first liquor was Grey Goose. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's like
It's been it was a while before I had anything nice.
right.
But
right.
we were in a different situation. We had our fakes and shit like that. So like we were young and like there was no way to get the nice stuff that young. Like we were all thrown together for the Paulie.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's funny because I got older and I was still drinking like that, and then I was like, yeah, man, I think I'm getting to that age where I'm getting hungover, and motherfuckers was like, it's because you got these cheap ass bottles.
I was the one who told you that.
And I was like, what do you mean?
It's like, here's the difference. This thing gets filtered so many times.
I started getting nicer bottles, and I'm like, oh my god. But I was that's crazy that as a youngin, I was able to do that.
Yeah.
But what was it like the first time you got drunk, bro?
Bro, I handled it like a champ, man. I don't know. I do remember being like real woozy and like I was amped up, turned up or whatever. It was fun. I didn't have any hangover. I didn't have any hangover. My first hangover was a few years ago. I was like 26, 27 after New Year's. That was when I stopped giving. That was when I gave up on New Year's, and I realized New Year's Day is just another party. It's not. You don't got to, bro. So like after that, I don't really drink on New Year's Eve like that anymore. But that was my first hangover, and since then I've had a few, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Especially now that I'm cut back drinking for fighting. I get, oh my god, bro. If I get messed up, I'm down the whole next day.
Yeah.
And I'm still not used to that.
Biggest thing to prevent a hangover is just the hydration thirst.
Yeah.
The
You can drink and drink water. Now
Hydrated.
the times when I drink water before I go to bed, when I can catch that, oh yeah, I'm in the game. But on top of we just hammered, bro.
Oh, I know.
I went to a wedding.
Pedialyte
for sure.
before bed, bro.
Yeah.
Pedialyte.
I went to a wedding. Let's see, I stopped drinking in June, and then I went to this wedding in September. And my tolerance, bro, from last summer, from the lake parties I threw, from the pool parties I threw, to me drinking then to me now.
Night and day.
Oh, I don't even, why would I do that to
I
myself?
hear you, yeah.
And I still can drink, I can put it away, I'm just not going to, unless it's a long night with my boys, sure, or whatever, but.
Yeah, I feel like I've always had the crazy tolerance to whatever I'm indulging in, and it's always played a negative effect in that way. Like I remember specifically where there was this guy, we called him Big Doug. Easily, he's definitely probably over 300 pounds, and we're all drinking each other out kind of deal. And then so we got a gin bottle. It's towards the end of the night, and we're seeing who can chug it the longest. And I beat everybody. I go 11 seconds, and then he tries to match me, and he just starts yakking everywhere.
It is too, bro.
And I get him on the way down there.
Oh yeah. The gin was one of those liquors where I knew about it, gin and tonic, whatever, and then I tried it, and I was like, what the fuck? Y'all are drinking this stuff? It's crazy.
I like gin. I
like
tonic.
it.
Yeah.
I feel maybe I had a gin and tonic. I don't know. No, I was just gin. It's just liquor don't taste good. People be like, "Oh, I like this." I'm like, "You're capping. It doesn't taste good." You think Hennessy's good?
Yeah, bro. I had a Hennessy kick where I was drinking straight Hennessy for like.
But like, all right, when I say it's good, I mean like, if there was no alcohol in Hennessy, would you just drink it with your dinner if you could? Because of the taste. That's what I mean. Like, no liquor.
Whiskey
Nobody
tastes
does
good,
it for
bro.
the taste. It's
I-
always the effect.
Whiskey, bro. The
See,
whiskey.
Put me on. What's good whiskey?
So like, I learned wine for the ladies, and I learned whiskey for me. And you know, I coming back to the whole top shelf, bottom shelf thing, or what you like, man. When you can get to the point where you learn the different barrels, how they're made, or you know, you already know the filtration.
Yeah.
So like how long it's been aging and all of that stuff, you can really start tasting the difference. And not only that, you know which whiskeys are gonna get you where, how you want to get there. You know, the ones that make you chill, the ones that make you keep you up a little bit more, the ones that just hit the first taste. And of course, you got your higher whiskeys where the flavor profile matching with if it's like strong, if it's gonna sit with the tannins, if you could taste the smoky, the cherry, the plum, the whatever, the oak barrel, the fucking you know, the age of it. Like you can really taste all of that.
I guess I've never really been into alcohol enough to be a connoisseur in that sense, to where I'm drinking enough to taste the difference.
I studied it.
I've always been smoke heavy first and indulged in alcohol socially, kind of deal. But I could see that for sure. If it was something I enjoyed, trying to find then the different distinctives from each, for sure.
It's like wine, same thing,
Yeah,
you know.
for sure.
And I can go on about that one even longer, man. Shoot, I'm at the point now where I can taste the wine and I can tell you pretty decently either what type of wine it is or what's like in it. I would love to get to the point where I can smell it and just tell you, oh, this is a cabinet. Well, I can actually smell. I can almost pretty decently smell the difference between the types of wines. That's not that hard, but smelling. Actually, I guess smelling what's in it is not that hard either, cause
You be drinking then. You like so like you have to drink so much wine to like be.
Bro, I read books. I did go through my zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I just stopped drinking for real for fighting. Before that, like I can put it back, bro. Like I can, you know, do
See,
whatever.
they had you in college. They were like, you can't do this. You left.
It was after college. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You left and wilded out, man.
Yeah.
They had you on too tight of a
Tell me I
leash.
can't have a bottle in my fridge. Shit.
Now you know everything about every liquor ever.
Well, see, it's more so like I get out here and I learn it, bro, because it's knowledge. And you know, if you're the more knowledgeable guy in the room, you know, I'm already. A lot of times I end up in the middle of the spotlight, or you know, somewhere involved with what's going on. And so just being that knowledgeable guy is kind of where I like to be, because I already love people, bring people together. But now it's like,
It's gonna carry the conversation.
yeah, conversationalists, you're able to really put people to educate, because I love educate people. That's really why I do everything I do. I don't mind being an explorer and pioneer to go do this, figure this out, learn this, because I'm gonna teach it to you here, or I'm gonna be a real open book so I can show you I came from nothing, I got nothing, I'm doing this on my own, figuring it out, and I'm having a blast, and you're watching me having a blast, you're having a blast. You can do it too. Go, come on, let's do it together. So like, that's kind of really, bro. I do a lot of things just to know, bro. I like to know a little bit about a lot, cause you know, it's just makes you more valuable as well, also. But with business or women, it's easy to impress a woman when you start talking about wine. You know, or after my wine tastings and stuff, you know, being cultured and stuff like that. It's cool, man, because the world got so much to offer. So
Opens different opportunities for yourself.
big time, bro. Big time, man. All these different types of events. There's always different types of people. Now I'm able to have these different conversations. I can go to any room and feel comfortable. You know, I don't have to be like, oh, I don't know enough. You know, I got something we can relate on. Something I could teach you. You could teach me if I'm here looking to learn from you. So that's kind of like the thought behind it. You know?
I feel like that's one of the biggest benefits I got from it. Like we said, being the new kid is that adaptation to a new environment like that.
Yeah, so you already know. So some people can't go into any room and feel comfortable, no matter how uncomfortable it is.
For sure.
But I'm good. I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna talk to everybody.
I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna miss out if I don't? You know, what networking opportunity? You know, what situation could I have endured there?
It's huge. Yep. So it's just all involved.
Yeah,
definitely, man. Man, you're a man of many talents, bro. I really appreciate you coming on today.
That's what happened, bro.
Really. Yeah, you definitely got to come back.
Let me know, man. I'm ready.
Let the people know where they can find you.
You guys can find me right now all over Charlotte. But if you want to add me on social media, that's the Trey Rhodes on Instagram, TheTreyRhodes, or on Facebook, Trevonte Rhodes, TrevontaRhodes. I'm pretty easy to find. You'll see me. Everything I do got my name on it. So yeah, add me, hit me up, DM me. Let's chat. Let's talk.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise, man. Thanks.
It's honest, brother. Peace out, guys.
Bye, everybody.